goes live. Here we go. It's being live in. Good morning. We are here.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Lisa.
Yes, good morning, Aisha. How are you doing?
Morning,
here we
good
go.
Morning. Well, it's your morning, isn't it? It's your morning.
It is. It's so early. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
But it's not really, is it? I mean, I looked at where Las Vegas is and the time it is, and it's not super duper early, like 6:30 in the morning. But it might be early for you because maybe you had a late night. Did you have a late night, Lisa?
I'm not going to tell you what I did last night.
Don't tell me anything. I don't want to know anything. I want to know nothing.
This is like our perfect opening. You guys, if you're listening right now, we are going to be talking about finding your voice. We have to find our voice right now because I'm waking up and she's going to bed. Where are you? What country are you in? I forgot where you're at.
I'm in Europe, darling. And I'm in Germany, Berlin.
Europe is not a country, okay?
I know, but it's got so many different cultural lands. I'm from the British Island. I'm from the United Kingdom, but I live in Berlin, Germany. They took me in. You can be anything you want in Berlin. They really don't care. They just are happy for you to be creative and artistic. And that's kind of like why I'm here. And that's why I love doing what I do, because everybody embraces it and welcomes it, which is being different. It's cool, huh?
So awesome. I talked to my friend Chris Gunn. He's over in London. And I saw on your profile that you were from Reading, England?
Reading in Berkshire. Reading.
Yes. So
Reading.
I asked him, I know nothing about certain cities. And I said, what is that? He goes, oh, that's a tech area. I go, well, she's kind of smart. So, did you know that? Okay, let's share.
There's the Green Valley, the Thames Valley. You're sharing, I'm sharing.
Okay, we're all sharing. I had music before. Okay, I'm going to just join us. Don't you hate when people have this big lag when they're going, can these people start talking? Hold on. When you do your own thing, what am I looking for? Come Alive on Camera. That's my group that you're in, our group. It's awesome. Speaking on camera. So I want to do a quick commercial. Come over to the Come Alive on Camera tribe, because we share nothing but possibilities and breakthroughs on speaking on the camera, your content, your way of being. It's fun. Isn't it a great group? I love that group.
What's the name of the group?
Come Alive on Camera.
Come alive.
Come alive. Okay, that's posted. Let's just do one more thing. I think we're good. That's all I'm doing to you right now. All right, here we go. Good morning.
Here we go. Here we go. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I love it. Okay, there it goes.
I love me too.
Oh, I have to turn it off. Okay, great. Do you know that when you are showing something, make sure that you turn up the volume here, because then it'll pop into over there. Yeah, yes, so thank you for inviting me today to talk.
You're very welcome. Awesome. Yeah, so to anyone watching and listening and curious as to why an American and a Brit/German are here talking to each other, it's because we both met in a networking group for women, and being women, we are badass. I've got my Superwoman cape here. And while I was out doing my, flying in the night, saving people's lives, particularly women's, I came in the sky across Lisa, who's pretty badass, I have to say. And then she told me that she's also, got her business. We got talking, didn't stop talking. And then we said, you know what, we've got so many useful tips that we could give to people they could benefit from, because we've both got our own experiences. We should share them. We should share them, shouldn't we, Lisa?
Yes, exactly. That's what's happening right now. Is that, it's so noisy, right? There's just so many things happening, going on, and people are still confused on how do you use your voice? How do you find your voice? How do you get heard? How do you get heard in a noisy world? And do you notice, do you see, or yourself even, do you see sometimes that people are pulling back? They're still kind of pulling back to use their voice.
I don't know what it's like for you, because you're kind of in Las Vegas, and I'm assuming you're around a lot of people who want to be seen and heard. I don't know.
It's different. Vegas is an eclectic, strange place. People are here for vacation, drinking, relaxing, and then people living here just want to have a peaceful, fun life and healthy life. Yeah.
Well, to answer your question, I do think people are a bit more reserved than they need to be. And I do think there is a voice in them that wants to be heard, and they want to know how to use it. But I often hear people say they're actually just scared or actually terrified of speaking in public and using their voice. And I'm thinking, what a shame. I grew up singing in choirs. So I always had a community of people around me using my diaphragm, knowing how to warm up my voice so that I could use it and deliver my voice in a way that people could hear it. And then as I got older, I realized a lot.
What, we froze. There she froze again. We froze. Hold on, we'll come back to, there we go, we're back.
Voice that they have. I can see. I wonder when I wonder when that happened. But
okay.
When I was younger, I used my diaphragm with my singing voice, and now I'm a little older, and I qualified as a barrister in England and Wales, wig and gown and all that. And I learned lots of things, gained some really good tips about how to stand up in public and just be heard. You don't have to have a screechy high voice, and you don't have to speak really, really fast, but you just need to be able to command the space that you're in. And that's why I think it's exciting that I've met you, because you, from what I've heard, and I'd love to hear you tell us more about that, because people who are watching on my page are different to the people that know you already. I'd love to hear you give some of your stories and share your experiences and tips on how people can use their voice.
Oh, that's lovely. You know, it's funny when you said people that are on your page. I have a friend over in England, and one time she was giving, I don't know if I told you this, she just felt like, you know, if you speak in England, you know, you're going to have to talk a certain way because the British won't accept you're talking too quick and this. I'm like, the British that discovered, I don't know, like the Rolling Stones and the Beatles and rowdy stuff. I mean, what do we have? The Queen's English, or we have, you know, LA English. Isn't this a juicy subject to say, oh, in one country we talk one way? Well, it is true. I have to tell you that this is funny. I'm just going to talk a little bit about this. When I was married to my Greek, we were married a long time. He was a great friend now still. But when I'd go over to Greece, you know, the Greeks, they all talked at once, or they use their hands, or they're very, you know, they're moving their body a certain way, right? I mean, the Italians are they're moving their body like that. Some other cultures, very proper, no body movement, no eye contact. So all these things that you are either raised with or you're around can also influence your permission that you give yourself to speak a certain way. And you might not be even aware of it. And would you agree, like when you were taking singing or acting, or especially people performance things, when you get in a group of actors or singers or dancers or something, you'll start to see, wait a minute, the rules here are who's going to stand out more, because the pulled back people aren't going to, there's not enough juice coming out of it. So when we're speaking on the camera, I think it depends on your background or your way that you've been. And also, here's another one, is that I see a lot of teenagers, this will happen, or kids, right? Mm-hmm. They're all excited, and then something happens in high school, or something happens where they're worried about their self-esteem, and they pull back. You know, they pull back, or people pull back, and then they hold on to that in the corporate world, or they you know, they've still got this thing to pull back. So it's interesting. I don't know if this relates, but right. You know,
you're absolutely right there, Lisa. I can certainly think in the last 2 or 3 years, I've been mentoring sort of teenage girls who've got to give a presentation before they finish their time at university or school. And even though their head is very much in the, you know, is the English that I'm speaking because they're German, is it accurate? Is it correct? I listen to it maybe 5 times. And then I say, right, now I just want you to, now that you know what you're saying, I want you to just perform it. Like, say it with ease, stand up, say it with confidence. You know, put your feet on the ground on both sides. And if you're standing in front of a podium or a desk, just take your 2 fingers and put them on either side. That creates some balance between your shoulders, your fingers, and your feet. And then you have stability. And then they'll do the whole performance again, the presentation, even if it's only 2 minutes. And at the end, they'll have a smile on their face because they can breathe, they feel good, they somehow are prepared for their performance. That it wasn't even important to them at the time, but it makes such a difference to confidence, and it makes them feel less scared, less terrified, and less afraid. And actually, you know what we haven't said is what we both do.
Tell me what you do. What do you do? All I know is you're Superwoman. I looked at your website. I mean, obviously, we met in the networking group. Great networking group. We're in the Wednesday hop-in something.
We meet Wednesdays.
Meeting Wednesdays. But your website has
Samantha Ann.
Yes, Samantha Ann, we love her. You have a great cover of your website. So tell me what you do. Tell them what you do.
Well, thank you. I'm basically, in the daytime, I'm a human being, and at nighttime, I'm Superwoman, which means I go out and dress up in my Supergirl or Superwoman costumes, and I go out and make people smile. And by that, I mean people who look quite rough, or young people who just look a bit lost, just feel relaxed because I'm neutral, and they come over and then they just talk at me or to me, and it makes them feel safe. And I think that's what's important to me, because I'm an expat living abroad in another country, although I have become German now because I'm from the United Kingdom, and wearing the wig and the gown is different to wearing a cape So I feel far more comfortable wearing my cape. And I just want to actually help people to step out and shine. And I do that because it felt important to me that not just working in a place with four walls was important, but to be able to reach out to people and make them feel good. So I do that in the form of being a life coach, a mindset and a happiness coach. And I say mindset because I do believe even if you've had things that have been hard happen to you, we've all got our stories, you come through stronger if you have the right mindset. And I wanted to share those tips with people. So I do that with my coaching. And I'm also an emotional mapping expert. So I show people how to express their emotions using emotional mapping so they can draw their river of life and their river
you
of
did
losses.
You did a quick exercise with me remember when we met, and I said, well, what's the mind mapping? Because I mean, I've seen mind mapping,
emotional mapping. I got you to imagine what it's like. So
that was so
to anyone
fun.
interested, I don't want to digress from the
okay,
topic of today, but it's for me, it's really fascinating because I'm an empath. I believe in empathy, and I like to use my emotions to express myself, which I love to do, and I encourage people to do. But you can do it in many different ways. And one of the ways I do it is to say, think of your own river of life, because we all have one, don't we?
Yes,
we do.
We do.
You do too, Lisa.
I do have a river of life.
So I say, Lisa, you have your own river. It has a beginning, it has a middle, and it has an end, right? So now think of some important stories that mean something to you in your life that you'd like to put, that are pivotal, that you'd like to put onto that river. And that's what I get you to do, is to close your eyes, think of those stories, and just think about how you felt at the time, because often it's how you feel at the time. That's what we remember, right? And then I get you to shift your imagination and to draw them on a river of life, on your emotional map.
I don't want to interrupt it, but this is great because how this ties into speaking is this is one of the things that I coach on. I'm a voice coach, as you know. I'm a video voice coach. I mean, a voice coach anywhere, but I'm really focusing on social media speaking. And the problem that a lot of people have is they're not using their imagination. They're not emotionally mapping. They're not closing their eyes, doing the process like you. They're not seeing what is possible. They just are kind of like winging it, or thinking, or they're watching TikTok, or they're watching a reel, and they're just kind of, it's a crazy, here, let me just back up. It's a crazy time right now where anything goes. It's clearing my throat.
Would you like some water?
Anything goes. Hold on.
Yes.
Cheers. No, but it is an emotion. I told you I'm just waking up here in Vegas. It's so low, but young for me. It's early. No, but people, what happens is that it is noisy out there. So we think anything goes. Well, anything can go, and you never know what's going to go viral. But if you really want to be strategic, like you're saying, you're mapping out things that happen to either get shifts, or, I'm not going to get too much into your process, but the whole point is that if you were starting to see, that's the thing. When you do a video, what did I say to you before we started? What's our intention today? Where do we want to take this? Part of it is we have a purpose. We have some ideas. We have some notes. And then the other part is free flowing, just saying, let's see what's going to happen. Now, this is because we have no time constraints right now. I can't even talk.
Constraints.
Hey, Jesus, wake me up. Constraints. I'm off coffee now too. But when you're doing something for 60 seconds, and you're doing, which is very trending right now, which is, one of the reasons we're on here now too, is how can we get these messages out quick? I mean, 60 seconds isn't quick. At the Super Bowl, it's long, 60 seconds now,
Yeah, I mean, so you're absolutely right, Lisa. I think the intention to get someone to deliver their message is limited in sound bites and time bites. And the attention span of somebody listening is like 7 seconds, which is about the length of the memory of a fish in a bowl, right?
They said 3 now. It's gone down. It was 7 about video. Last year.
That's video. Seconds.
Video, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're in front of someone face to face, it's 7, and if you're on video, it's even less.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. So we need people like us more than ever because we've kind of, I wouldn't say mastered, but perhaps I should. I think we've done pretty well, really, honestly, pat the bank.
No,
we've done pretty well to try to not just help elevate and move ourselves forward so we can be successful and shine with confidence, but the job we're doing now, which is even more important, is to show other people how to do it and how to do it successfully, because time is always a factor, isn't it?
No, it's so true. When I was a flight attendant a million years ago, and we figured, I was with the airlines for 10 years, and it was great. We were based in different places. We all ended up eventually in Hawaii. Can you imagine? Lived in Hawaii, flew out of Hawaii. They had the unions had legal rules in those days. You could only fly 80 hours. Well, it's 5 hours to Los Angeles and 5 hours back. That's 10 hours, one trip. spend the night in LA or Vancouver or wherever. And then that would only be 8 trips a month, right? So we had lots of days off and good things. But, these airplanes were packed, and I was a senior flight attendant in those days too. I was on the microphone. I didn't know I was going to be a speaker. I didn't know, but we're all speakers. We've had all kinds of things where we've done speaking, but we figured out in 10 years times 8 trips times 250 passengers, we saw a million. So I talked to a million in those years, and it doesn't sound like it's big, but it's a lot. So when you're talking to a million people,
that's not a small number.
That's not a small number, but guess what we were doing? We were really, in those days, I don't know about now, no judgment, we were there to have fun on the airplane. We were there to give people free bottles, glass bottles of champagne, alcohol, glass bottles you could break and do designs on your face. I mean, it was a day of partying and freedom and really hoping that people loved our airline. We were not, telling people how to do this, how to do that. I mean, we definitely were there for safety. That was the ultimate, but we assumed that everything was always safe. And if it wasn't, that would be something, but we were prepared. But my point is that I started to get known that they would come after me. They go find Lisa if there was a ruly passenger, somebody that was rude or did something. And I think, when I look back, a lot of stuff in your life is preparing you for what you're doing now. So for people that are trying to figure out how to get their voice out and how to get on the camera more, look at some experiences you had in your life. So what I did, you want to hear what I did? Aisha,
go on. What did you do?
You can't do this now. So let's say someone's a jerk on the plane, right? They go get Lisa. She can help. I think because my dad was at LAPD and my mother was a hairstylist, both of them were psychologically strong for different reasons, because hairstylists are psychologists, and my dad, was a captain in the police force. So he was trying to make people safe, and he was kind of strong. But I would go to the passenger. I didn't even know Tony Robbins at the time. I didn't know a lot of, things. I just was a dancer and fun and happy. I'd go to the passenger and I would come up to them. And first of all, I touched their shoulder. I just touched their shoulder because that just kind of calms people down. You can't do that now. It's illegal now. You can't touch. In the old days, we could touch you. We'd go like that just for a second. I just touch and let go. I mean, I wasn't sitting there like a jerk. And I would ask this question. You want to know what I asked? This is great. I would ask, let's say you're the jerk. They say I should. And I would say, hey, I have to ask you a question. So I asked a question. I said, where did you learn that? And what would you say if I just said something like that? Anything? You could go, what? What do you mean? Where did I learn what? Right? I don't know you. You don't know me. I go, no, tell me again. No. And I wouldn't answer what they said. They go, what are you talking about? I go, no. Where'd you learn that? What are you talking about? You're this or that. I go, I just, the way you talk, that sound, the way you're being, it's so interesting. I said it was interesting. I was analyzing the way they sounded, and it was intriguing me. And I really was authentic, but I also was being a sarcasm. I was breaking a pattern, basically. But see, that's the whole point also of why we're doing videos and finding our voices. We want to have this is kind of what I do in my coaching, is that how can we have a pattern interruption with this 3 seconds that we have? And it's got to be a combination of, kind of like a visual image, and we have to have a vocal image. And a lot of people, like if you were just to look at me and you right now, let's say we just got on, and do people say someone's watching me for the first time on your page, or they're watching you? What kind of judgments could they have? Do they know, just by looking at us a little bit, would they know that we're smart? Would they know that we're funny? How would they know? Just in the beginning, where are people analyzing?
Based on what they can see, because maybe you haven't spoken yet.
Right. So when we haven't spoken yet, what are they going on only? What senses are only there?
What they hear and what they can see, and probably what they can smell.
Well, on the video, they can't smell you.
Oh, okay.
Let's just say on the video.
So it's basically looks.
Look, so there's a visual image, right? I'm seeing you wearing turquoise. I'm not sure where you're sitting. I know there's something on your wall. You can see in mine, I've got, my makeup light, because I was a professional makeup artist for a million years, still do it. All these things say something. But until you start speaking, we've got to get that vocal image out. And that's what I wanted. That's what I do to help people do that. Because you know what? You can't leave your voice to chance. And a lot of people are doing that, and they're missing the opportunity. And we all have great voices. I would say if you never coached with me, or they never coached with you, life is happening, right? But we can like improve that vocal image. You're going to build more rapport if you've got if you can master your voice.
I would agree. So let me ask you this then, Lisa. What would you say to people who would like to do something about their voice? They have no idea what they sound like because they really don't, and they're feeling scared or they're lacking confidence. What would you say to someone like that who approaches you and says, look, can you help me?
Well, yeah, this is why I created my group on Facebook, the Come Alive on Camera group, because I saw a need out there, especially because I've been around cameras my whole life, coming from Hollywood. I'm from Los Angeles originally. And I could see that people were still second guessing what to do. So I first of all, create a space of support that can be with you in a positive way. Now, not support from your friends and family going, you're good, you sound so cute, I love you, you're adorable.
Constructive feedback.
Yeah, no, professional feedback from someone you trust, okay? And that's it. You got to figure out is there a trust factor? And you have to be with someone that cares about you. To answer your question, how I work with people in my coaching is that I first find out who are you, and let's create a story of you. Because that's what, that's one of the things that I think is like so important. When you can create the story of you, that's your brand, the brand is you. And a lot of people don't think of it that way. They're thinking about, I'm selling my products, I'm writing my book, I'm doing, so all those things are great. But if we're watching a television show of you, what's the character of you? So I help people get out of their head and get into their heart. And let's say you're into your heart and you're authentic, authenticity, I got to be real. Well, sometimes you can be really real and you're trying to be real and you care, or you have one note like a piano and you're really flat. So I help so we can get this sound, so you can master this vocal image. And you can't do it alone. You cannot give yourself feedback constructively, because you either love how you look and sound or you hate how you look and sound. So okay, who cares? That's not going to help you. You've got to have somebody that you bounce these ideas off of, like a table read of a television show, because we're going to go, okay, that worked. Do you know how many times comedians will test their stuff for free all over New York, all over London, all over the place?
Sure.
All the time.
They have to.
For free. Jerry Seinfeld, right? One of the greatest comedians in the United States. Just think of anyone. Dave Chappelle, just all these guys. They go out, and they're also a lot of them, very, very insecure and very introverted, but they're sarcastic as hell. But they test. They're testing. Okay, let's try it this way. Oh, let's try it another way. What happens to most entrepreneurs or online people, they think, I'm just stuck with my voice. I just have to be this one way. And to me, that's boring. And so that's why I'm good at what I do, because I don't want you to be boring.
The question was, what do you do to help people feel confident and less scared when they come to you? And the answer is practice, test, go out there and let someone else, not yourself in front of the mirror, hear you and give you feedback. Right. And one way they could do that is in a group that you run.
It's the group they can do it, and also my training. I have a 10X Fearless Academy that's a very intimate one-on-one coaching, and I also have small groups in there too, where I actually take you through all kinds of exercises, because exercises are fun. When we're in kindergarten, when we're taking acting, we're taking dancing, we're learning how to be a lawyer, we're learning, oh my God, learning how to be a flight attendant, a hairstylist, whatever. We do exercises to get better. And sometimes when people get on the internet now or doing, trying to grow, but they're still scared, they don't have their child cap on. And that's how you relate about happiness. Let's get fun here. Let's mess up. Let's get messy.
I have no doubt that you have it, because you talked about doing videos in, the attention span of people is 3 seconds. Right. I have no doubt that you know how to do that and to show people how to do that. One memory I have from law school was telling the story of Little Red Riding Hood in 3 sentences. It's possible and it's fun, but you're doing this with like proper grown-ups who want to stand in front of a courtroom.
How do you do it? So do it. Well, can you do it?
You have to practice, and we can sit in here and try and do it now. Eventually we will get down to 3 sentences. And then when we do, we'll be like, who would have thought that was possible?
Okay, hold on a minute. I can't even remember the story. Little Red Riding Hood went to see her grandmother and the wolf ate her up. That story?
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. Little Red Riding Hood. She dropped the crumbs. Was that her dropping the crumbs? Or not Hansel and Gretel? I can't remember.
No, that's Hansel and Gretel. But she did go visit her grandmother. You've done it. I mean, that's what I said, because you obviously have experience.
Got it. Whoop, we're freezing again. We'll be back in a second. Freezing. Someone's freezing. Here it goes. She's coming back. I like that position. Hold on. We're coming back. I don't know who froze. Oh, it's Aisha's freezing. Oh my God, you're gonna love this pose. Look at this pose, you guys. This is a crack. She's actually frozen. Come back to me. All right. So it seems she's frozen for a bit. So I like what Aisha, you're talking about doing the Little Red Riding. So I did it really boring. I said, here's Little Red Riding Hood, goes to see a grandmother, and she gets eaten by a wolf. So obviously it was you. You were frozen.
Oh,
wait, look at your hands. Look at your hands.
Because I had it on my, we're back. Hello.
No, but I love the idea about Red Riding Hood, because that's the starting point of, I give people in our group, I have a planner, like a short planner, just saying, hey, how do you do, where I don't have it on my wall. Yeah, 60-second plan. I have it over here on my wall. And the first plan is, what's the big idea? Okay. Little Red Riding Hood going to see her grandmother. That's the big idea. How do you want them to feel? Mystery. We're not sure what's going to happen to Little Red Riding Hood. And then we go over here and there's a hook. Oh, there's a dangerous wolf out there. You want to know what's going to happen? And then you give her one tip. Be careful when you sleep, because you know what? A wolf could eat you up. And then the call to action is, don't go see grandma's suit too often. See, so that's 60 seconds. 60 seconds.
Yeah.
You can
that's the point.
Story.
You have we don't know each other that well. We only met each other a couple of times, but you were very quick at telling that story in 3 sentences. Most people need 20 minutes to narrow it down in a group. Yeah.
That's why I'm good at what I do. You got to join me.
Fabulous at what you do. It's like
I'm writing down the note, Little Red Riding Hood, because I want to share this. I want to do this exercise.
These are icebreaker stories, because they bring a team together, but they also make you think on your own. And the point about storytelling is you think about using your imagination. What do I think? What can I picture? What can I imagine? Then you go there with that story. And that's what I do with emotional mapping. I get people to tell the story, but also to draw the story. But you're doing it in your head, like you're closing your eyes and you're thinking, okay, what do I remember about that story about Little Red Riding Hood? What do I remember about my life when I felt really good and confident, but I don't feel like that today and now? Why is that? Doesn't matter, but let's get you back to there. Let's get you back to there, because you had that once. It's in you. It's within you. It
totally is, Aisha. And you know what's cool about this exercise is I can totally imagine if I was in that group or any kind of group, and also it could be the facilitator could have a new rule. The rule could say, kind of like when you do improv, when you do improv off of somebody, have you ever done that, where somebody does and you leave the last word, the person picks up that word and goes on to another story.
Let's do
it up. We could do it right now. Well, let's do it right now in terms of, let's pick a subject on anything. Pick another one. Okay, we could do it.
Lemons or melons.
Okay, so what happens is I'll do a little bit and I'll leave you with the last word, right? A sentence.
Okay.
Isn't that how we do it? So okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of curious. How does this?
Tell me something about lemons. Just tell me something about lemons. Quick one though, just a quick one, like a one-liner, one or two. Well, one line.
If you spell lemons a different way, it comes out melons.
But if you take melons, you could actually make a martini with it.
Really? Did you know there's always an offer on for melons in the supermarket?
But I hate supermarkets because I want to fly to Dubai today.
Today, for you, it's daylight, and for me, it's dark outside.
You know what? It's dark outside for you, but you know what? I think I'm going to go take a dance class right now.
Every time I take a dance class, I'm always going at the opposite pace and in the opposite direction to what everyone else is doing.
Well, you know what? Everything's shut down, so we have to come back to Las Vegas. Yeah.
That's fun.
See, that's fun because what did you notice about our voices when we were doing something like that? Now, this is easy for me and you. A lot of people cannot do this. Just like you just said that people took 20 minutes. See, this is the difference for being in your head. And this is great exercise that we're doing this. Oh my God, I love this. It's our little soundbite thing.
High five.
High five. No, go this way. No, go that way. Here it is, right
Okay.
there. There, hit it. But see, that's the difference about being in your head, like analyzing what exactly have to do it right, have to get everything perfect versus flowing and having some imagination because you don't know where it's going to go. So you need both. The point is you have to have imagination, but it's not so much of doing this kind of thing, not knowing what you're going to talk about, is that when you watch the replay on this, you're going to see that our tones were not boring.
No,
Because
we're
weren't
enjoying ourselves. We're having fun. Exactly. We're doing it off the cuff.
Yes, I love this.
Thank you. I did too. It's fabulous. Let me ask you this then. What tips do you have to help people feel calm when they have to deliver a sentence or a performance? Because as we know, when people are nervous, I've got quite a sort of a lower tone sounding voice than you. You've got quite a high sounding voice, but neither of us sound nervous. So I know what I'm doing to calm myself. I'm breathing through my entire stomach and my diaphragm, and I'm sitting with my back upright. I'm not slouched over. Usually I'd stand,
body language. Okay.
Body, exactly. So what do you do to help calm your nerves that you would encourage or suggest to people as tips?
Well, no, this is a beautiful question, because you know what, this has happened to me also when I first started. When I first started speaking on camera, like I've always been speaking for many years for all kinds of different things, but I didn't know what I was going to talk about so much, so I was confused. I go, okay, I have to get out and I want to just get this ball rolling. This was before I was really clear on my purpose, but it's okay. I was in another group, it was years back, and they forced us to just do these videos, and there would be like a reason for it. Okay, so that is one of the hardest things for people too, is when they have to come up with their own content, they get nervous about it, like they don't think it's enough. So if somebody gives you some content, that also can help you. That can really, really help you. Do better at it. But physically, now I was trained by a celebrity voice coach named Roger Love. He's Tony Robbins' voice coach. He was Brendan Bouchard's voice coach. He's also Joaquin Phoenix, Gwen Stefani. He's a famous voice coach in Hollywood. And he started coaching entrepreneurs. He wasn't going to do that. He was just a singing coach, like with the Beach Boys, Michael Jackson, all of it. He's a cool guy. But I took his training. I met him at a Brendan Bouchard event, and I took his training. Did I ever tell you this story?
Oh.
Did I ever tell you the story about how I met Roger Love?
No, because we've only met each other once or
that's
twice.
Right.
And
it's
a
funny.
Very short time.
See how when you tell a lot of stories, that will also sometimes be people think that, they don't need to tell the story. But anyway, the point is that he's just like was so great about getting out of your head and also warming up your voice, So what I do is I will turn on music. You're asking about nerves. So turning on music. What did I have when I was backstage with you before we came here? Music was on.
Yeah.
I was doing that. Music causes you to just free up. I also tell people I have a little ritual. You want to have a few notes that you're going to talk about. The reason you're nervous is your fight or flight is kicking into the brain right there. You know what the fight or flight is? Hey, something's dangerous here. I could get burned. It comes back from the Neanderthal days, fight or flight. Right. But fight or flight, also fear is good, because fear has energy to it. Fear can help you not burn your hand, but fear can fuel you. Barbra Streisand, many most famous actors and singers, they use fear, this energy of like not knowing, to help them. So it's kind of a double sword, because you've got to be calm enough that you're not nervous, but you also trust that fear is okay. Fear, you have to just kind of like jump into it.
But
you have to walk
like a
around.
ferociousness.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're still kind of new to speaking, so if you're watching right now and you're kind of new to speaking, you go, yeah, it sounds great for you guys, but I can't even get on the camera. I would say let's start with small steps. Start to learn how to do reels and stories. That's what I teach in my group. That's what I do in my coaching. Anybody can talk for 30, 60 seconds. And if you can start to master that, I say walk the room, touch the camera, do things that you get more grounded. And here's another tip too. Okay, a quick one. You could go on Facebook and you can hit the button to go live. And before you hit the button to go live, you hit the little button here to get to the live screen. You're going to write what you're going to write. You can go up at the top right here of your cell phone, and it'll say, who do you want it to go to? Public, your friends, anybody? There's a button at the bottom that says only me. Click the only me, and then do your thing. Just do your live. Talk what you're going to talk about. Facebook will, you'll save it. It'll go on Facebook. No one will see it. No one. And it's a dress rehearsal. And you can go, wow, look at my lighting. Look at how I'm talking. Mm-hmm. Or you could look at it and go, oh God, I'll never do that again. But
you can go, oh my God, I'm fabulous. Like not just good, but fabulous.
Yeah. So you can delete it.
My shadow.
So that's one of the things that I do. And to answer your question, one last thing on that is to help people with the nerves, I really dig deep more on what's going on with your life right now. Who are you? What are you trying to do? What are things that, it is psychological. 90% of this thing is in the head. All of it. Everything's based on the future. That's what they're thinking. The future. Somebody's going to judge it. It's not going to be good enough. Well, let's hold on. Let's just do right now. How about right now? Can you get yourself happy right now? Can you do something so you don't look like your face is, dead? Maybe your face needs to smile more. Maybe maybe the tone's coming out of you. I have a chart here. I use these different ones, pitch, pace, volume, melody, moving high, bringing it lower. These are things that are.
Come on, let's practice those.
They help you a lot, don't they?
Pitch, high, low, low, pace. Well, fast, I think we both speak quite fast. Let's try to speak slowly. Try it, Lisa.
I completely speak. Now, this is good. The part on the slow, here's how you get slow. You're aware, you said, like, we speak fast, and that's true. But when I pace and I have a period, like for a second, like you just stopped right now. Now, you don't want to sound fake because you were kind of like, no, let's talk slow. Like that.
Let's sound like we're on slow motion.
But see, when you do slow motion, it's boring. No, that's boring.
You don't have to do that.
But you do need to. I tell a lot of also foreigners for the English language to elongate vowels. A word that's like A-E-I-O-U. So like something like, I don't know, what's the word? Like power. So it says in power.
Mississippi.
Yeah, or power. You would say power, like power. If you elongate any kind of key word, that's going to add to the pacing. And volume.
Volume, loud, soft.
But what happens when you're loud? Loud.
People don't listen.
No, that's not necessarily true. Loud can be passion. Like for 1 second, I am so upset. I am so excited. Excitement can have volume. How about this? No volume, low volume. I'm really excited. It's so exciting. I'm really upset. See, it's emotional. Emotional mapping.
I get so emotional, baby.
Now you are the last one right here.
Flick the hair.
Look at you. Here you are. Here's you. Here's
Melody, staircase.
Melody, a staircase. You know how the staircase goes?
Go on. How does the staircase go?
Oh, staircase for speaking goes like this. Okay, Aisha, I'm going to tell you this story, but I'm going to start in the basement. Okay, we're going to start in the basement. Now, down here in the basement, when you talk in the basement, your voice is lower. Okay, you said my voice is high, but my voice can go.
Higher than mine.
Yeah, it can go low. So I'm in the basement. Now I'm going up the steps. And now I'm kind of just in the house. I'm in the hotel. I'm in the lobby right now. I'm talking in the lobby. But you know what I'm going to do? We're going to go up those steps. And guess where we're going? We're going to the penthouse. And what happens at the penthouse stays in the penthouse. But the penthouse is up here. And if you stay in the penthouse too much, you sound like Kim Kardashian or somebody crazy and you got to bring it back down. Look at my lens just got fogged out.
Something just steamed up.
I don't know. Did I do
me. It wasn't me.
Did I breathe on something?
I did nothing.
Ooh, I breathed on this. Yeah, but see what I'm saying? And then, so if you're up in the penthouse is where your voice can go higher, but then when you bring it back down and you're in the middle. So if you're able to look at your videos and see, are you doing this, melody a little bit? Are you pacing? You can also, another tip that I teach people too, is you can stop for a second. I'm going to have a sip of water.
That's all
you know
right,
what happens when you take a sip? Stops the whole thing for a second, just for a second.
Yeah, it gives everyone a chance to just like breathe.
Digest.
There's nothing wrong with that. And actually, regarding the volume of the sound.
Yeah.
Regarding that, I think it really depends on what you're talking about. And that dictates then the volume that you should use. But the impact can be the same whether it's loud or quiet, even if it's the same sentence that you're using. That's kind of part of learning how to use your voice. Maybe actors do it, but I think we as people do it too. We know if we're in a group and everyone wants their airtime, sometimes the person that speaks the quietest is the one that's heard because no one can hear the others.
That's true too. I totally agree with you. That I mean, also if somebody's too loud, it's irritating. Like they're barking. See, there's
like writing in capital letters.
Absolutely.
To say, can you hear me?
This is beautiful because it all is a balance. And like I've been in those different groups, Zoom groups where there's like 20 people and their people get to share their thing. And I'll look at some of these people in these groups and when they get a chance to talk for 30 seconds, let's say, they're keeping the volume really low a lot, or they're trying to keep it inside some group. No, it's okay. You have one chance right there and they say, hey, say who you are. People constantly remember me, or they sign up in my group, or they call me, they're going, you kind of stood out. I was in a group of analytical IT guys, all guys, me and my one friend, Elizabeth, was there. And these guys, I go, oh my gosh, they were all very, analytical and doing all kinds of tech. And they're also entrepreneurs and just interesting people, but everybody's voice was something. So I was just myself when it was my turn to say. This one guy, Corey, calls me when he hung up, right? He says, I don't know who you are, but I have to work with you. And he's an entrepreneur. He's not even online. He sells cell phone devices for companies so that they can turn off their cell phone, like truckers, any kind of corporate thing. And he hired me. And he said, I need to sound like you. And I said, okay. So we can work
on that.
But he had a good personality already. But the point is he wanted to do some different things because he didn't want to be boring in his corporate company that he was building.
Oh, well, good for you that he heard you and that you were, I assume, able to help him.
Yeah, it was great. He gave me one of the best testimonials. He said, you're the best coach I've ever had. And he did it in a really bad Wi-Fi in a hotel because he travels all over. And I went, God, Corey, could you have at least had better Wi-Fi? But I didn't care because, see, it wasn't about the location so much. It wasn't so much about the visual. On that one, it was his vocal image. His vocal image just popped. And you went, I like what Corey's saying. But when you have both, when people don't have to, I always say this, if you don't have people go on a treadmill to watch you, it's going to be easier. Have you ever heard that expression?
Yes.
God, don't make people like you that you're like, okay, we're on the treadmill. Now that's you can't control that, right? But we can control other things.
Yeah, sure we can. We can control a lot. We can let people enjoy what we're saying, and we can also be purposely dismissive to get them to be not interested and then focus on where we do want to get our attention.
What do you think causes people, what causes you not, hold on, I swear to God, I'm not joking. 2 helicopters literally went like this, or that close. I'm on the 20th floor. Sorry, that was interruption. I really didn't want to see this on CNN right now, but they went like this. Like, okay. Back to my airline
about
days.
Attention seeking.
Sorry.
Did they not know that we're doing a live?
Sorry, there's 2 helicopters that are really close, but let's keep talking.
They're okay though, right?
Sorry, I was going to ask you a question. I don't know. I was just asking you, like, what was I saying? Sorry, I got it.
Don't worry. Let me ask you one. When I was training to be a barrister in court, I hated it. And I remember doing it. Yeah, it was really, for lots of reasons. Firstly, because it was cold. And secondly, because wearing a wig, I noticed people getting bald heads, and I was like, I don't think this is going to go down well.
Can't breathe. Yeah.
Anyway, I remember being in front of a county court judge just for a training exercise. Mm-hmm. And at the end, he said, Miss Chaudhry, I grant you this injunction, but you have a very monotone voice. This was many years ago, right? More than 25 years ago. Wow. And so my question to you is, why do some people sound dull and flat?
They sound dull and flat because that's the way they talk. They just talk that way. Or they sound dull and flat because they're really not passionate. If you're passionate and excited, you just can't talk dull and flat unless you're completely shut down or completely so introverted that you haven't even allowed yourself to enjoy something. So you've got to have something that excites you. Most people aren't excited about. The number one fear of anything is what? Public speaking. They've written novels on it. Worse than doing a eulogy at your own funeral. People hate public speaking, and this is public speaking. Yeah.
So right? I would agree with you that for me, I look back. I'm not like that now because obviously I'm doing this.
No, you're not.
Back then,
she's got it, girls, friends.
Yeah, she's fine. Back then, I think I was a bit more of an introvert, and I was not enjoying the experience.
Right.
Today, I'm like, just stop me. You can't stop me getting in front of a screen. I'm going to love it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to take my time.
I love it.
You are going to listen. And I like the sound of my own voice. I used to beg my twin sister, because she's also a public speaking confidence coach.
You guys are so twins.
It's just like a unit. I used to beg her and say, can you please call whoever for me. Can you please stand up and do that for me? And she did.
Wow.
But she also then showed me and trained me how to do it myself, because we both went to law school. And today she's like a conductor for many choirs, and she sings herself, so she's always using her voice. But we learn from each other and look at our past and where we are today and say, isn't it great to see how far we've come along? And look at you, the world that you were living in then and what you're doing today, helping people to move.
She froze again. Here we go.
They want to feel good. I know.
No,
they want to feel good.
True.
And when you said this guy said, I need to have the voice like you have, it's because he looked at you and he could look back at himself and say, I want to have that sound, and I think she can help me have it, and it will make him feel good, and then he'll be more confident. And you obviously helped him do that. So ultimately,
well, he knew. See, he was open to change. You have to be open. I can't force anyone to have my coaching. People come to me for things. I give feedback. I love giving. I do assessments. I give, if you have a video, I will look at your video, like just complimentary, and I can give you some ideas. I do that with discovery calls. I'll do feedback on what I'm seeing, what opportunities I'm seeing. But can I tell you this real quick story on Roger Love? When I was first coaching with him, I went to Hollywood. This guy has $1 billion of Grammy award-winning people on the wall. Everybody famous, all these awards, right? Grammy, this and that. But he's down to earth, and that doesn't matter if he teaches 6-year-olds and celebrities. They're all going to learn something. So I come in there, right, I had my makeup business, and I was doing Brendan Bouchard. I've been a flight attendant. I worked in Beverly Hills as a hairdresser. I've been taking dancing, and I've got all this personality, and don't hold me back. I get in there, and I really was trying to figure out what I was going to do with the makeup thing. And I wanted to start getting to the voice thing, but I was just wasn't clear exactly the purpose, but I know how to talk. So I'm in there, and he's doing voice lessons with anything. But before we got started, and he has this beautiful $100,000 piano sitting there. It's in a sound room. It's just, you would have loved this. It's amazing. And I'm the show. I mean, he's giving me full on attention. He's going to record this session. So he starts to ask me a few questions. Bless you. He starts asking me questions like, okay, so tell me what are you trying to do? Just tell me your thing. And little did I know, he didn't really care what I was saying. He wanted to hear how I was saying. But anyway, I start to tell. So I go like this. And I had already talked to him about lots of things. And then when he says, tell me what you're doing, I literally turn into like a different person. I go, okay, so I have this business. It's come alive on camera, and you do, it was called Badass Beauty TV, and on location artists. And then I help people go here, and I go, oh my God. He goes, oh my God. He goes, this is so bad. He says, you need to get louder. I said, louder. I said, I've been told not to be loud. And he goes, no, you have no volume when you're speaking. You're not breathing out this volume. And I went, I love this man. He's telling me to be louder.
Why do you think people were telling you not to be loud?
Because people telling me not to be loud, some people don't like personalities. They go, bring it down, calm it down. Like my friend over there in England, she's like, you need to bring it down, pace it more.
What do you say to people like that now?
No, you need to bring it up. You need to get it up. You need to have it happen. Get it up. You know what I mean?
And how does that make you feel?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Powerful. Like you have your own power. Yeah. Superwoman. I love this.
Because you're worth it.
You're worth it. And all of this, I had somebody else I worked with, and I'll wrap this up a little bit, but I worked with someone the other day on something, and he kind of wanted to like judge what I was doing, and kind of, he was positive, but was just second guessing, or he had watched some of my videos and was saying, well, I think you didn't do this, or you should do that. And I was listening, and then I noticed that kind of a way of being, because it was not someone I hired or anything, I was second guessing myself. And I woke up, this was like just a while back, and I said, I will never do that again. I will not do that again, because I know what I'm doing. I'm talking about, I know what I'm doing in this business, and I'm also open to training and learning. But what happens is we attach our own personality onto how we think things should show up. And that's why you got to find your tribe. Because I could speak to someone, me and you could turn off so many people, and not normally because we're really great, but a lot of people can't handle energy. Well, go stay talking like Eckhart Tolle, like
don't let people put out your light. Keep shining it bright.
Because they don't have their light. They don't have their light, and his light was, that's all it is. And do I want to learn? Don't you? We all want to grow. I want to get better at speaking. Can you imagine?
I mean, you've got this group, this Facebook group. So did you give that person feedback, or did you just say, park it and I'm going to focus on my group so that people feel empowered and great?
No, I gave feedback back. No, I didn't give feedback on the personal stuff. I gave feedback on other things. But yeah, so it was, but it was great. It was great to have this experience, because it doesn't mean that anyone's wrong or right. It just was a test for me to look inside myself and say, if resistance is going to show up when we've got some insecurities happening, it always does. Fear of scarcity. It's all it is. Fear of scarcity. It's not enough. I'm not enough. It's not enough. Okay. If I screw up, and if he's right or they're right, and that affects me, then I won't make this over here. So everything's going to trickle. That's bullshit. Because right now, really, if I'm on TikTok a lot and I'm doing reels on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff, we're going to, in fact, on Saturday, this Saturday, the 3rd of December, or on the replay, if you're watching, a good friend of mine we're going to be talking about social media myths. What are some of the myths going on in social media? Because people have these myths, they think it has to be this or that. We're going to break some of these myths. We're going to debunk a bunch of myths that are screwing up people right now. Okay, so that's another subject, but that's what happens. You got to get freed up to have this confidence. And that's what I think we do by supporting each other. Help get
okay, let me just add to that.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, what I wanted to add to that is, by being in the space with people like ourselves who have some experience that we want to share, we then prepare people for how to be when they themselves experience something that's not great. We can prepare them in advance on how to handle those situations, those shitty situations that will come along because someone wants to rain on your parade, or just dampen out your little light because theirs perhaps went out ages ago. So people like us who see that happening, because we are women, it does happen. Yes. We can actually say, I can learn from this, and I'm going to show you, even if it doesn't happen to you tomorrow, I'm going to give you a bunch of tips and possibilities of things to do and prepare for. So if that happens to you, you'll know how to react. So you can do that with us in this group. No, it's absolutely true. That's great the way you're saying that, because it makes me think that I tell people, listen, you have to have the preparation. We have to know what we're going to talk about. We're going to have our voice be this way. We have to look a certain way. We have to have the purpose for the audience. How do we want the audience to feel? All these things where it's for them. We're giving them a gift, and everyone likes the gift. And then when you press the button, whatever goes out, I don't care about the audience. I don't care about nothing. It's like, it's just going to flow. Not meaning I don't care, but it's kind of like a dual thing, right? Like, listen, let's say no one's watching us right now. I don't care, because someone's going to watch a replay. I don't care, because we're having fun.
We're having fun.
And there's value in what we're saying.
We have an ebook right now. Here's a content example. Me and you have talked. We're going to get off here in a minute, but I don't care. We've got whatever minutes we've done. But how many segments do we have in this right now? You asked me earlier, how do you repurpose that? You can do this. Anyone can do this with your footage. That's why interviews are trending right now. They're better than webinars. They're starting to huge gurus that I've followed a couple. I forgot the content guy for Russell Brunson and this other guy that's famous for webinars. They're saying they're not doing them anymore the same way. They want interviews, and they're taking this interview, chopping pieces up, putting pieces of this in the website. So let's say me and you talked, right when you talked about something there, or I talked about a specific thing on voice, we can take segments of that and use it. So the point is, lots of times, who is it? Actors, people, they do things, tons of stuff, and only a certain thing sticks. So that's why we have to do lots of videos. We have to do a lot of these things, because most of it's going to be shit. Your first 50, 100 videos are going to be crap. Already knowing that, just let's get it going. But other people, they stop. They go, I have to be prepared. I don't have it ready. I don't have my makeup. I don't have my light. I don't know what I'm going to say. Oh, geez, come on, work with me, work with you. We're going to help you. Let's clear that stuff up, because people need you. They need your voice. They really need your voice. They definitely do. That's your thing. That's my thing. We want to help people shine their light. That's exactly it. Help them get the tips to improve their voice so that they go out there and can be heard. And they will be, because we'll tell them how to do it. We've told them how to do it. We've just done that now. So if people have any more questions, how can they reach you? Oh, you're so sweet. I love working with you. You're such a light. You're just great. There's a couple ways. Obviously, here on Facebook, the Come Alive on Camera Tribe. So you can come Alive on Camera Tribe. And then the other thing, if you want to go to one of my websites, it's comealiveoncamera.com/academy. In that, you can see the programs that I have. It's a very affordable program where I work with you for 30 days.
Okay.
And I am going to actually work with you live. We're going to be together, and I give exercises for you. I have all these recorded exercises for you to watch and participate in. And then I will be with you, giving you feedback on how it sounded. It's really fun. You can talk to my graduates. Like I do like a hot seat with you. Like, well, I'll turn on the video and go, okay, let's watch it. And I'll go, I'll stop the video and I'll go, okay, what do you think about right there? And you'll say, that was great. I said, yeah, wasn't that great? And then I'll click it again and I'll go, okay, go ahead. And you'll go, that was awful. And then we laugh about it. And then I work with you how to give you new ways of testing so that people are going to want to do business with you and buy your products if they can really hear you. So those are the two ways: come alive on camera and my comealiveoncamera.com academy/academy. I'll put the link here too. But
cool.
Thank you for being here. They're so nice.
You're welcome. If you want to reach me,
yes, how do we reach? I was going to ask you that. Hey, happyaisha.com. AISHA. Ooh, Aisha. I keep saying Aisha, all of a sudden.
I can't say my name either.
I know. Here, I'm going to remember you like this. Here, look, I'm going to be her position. Wait, put it back again. Put it back up again. Here's Aisha when she froze. Oh my God, this is
mine. I'm gonna let it shine.
This is awesome.
Light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine.
I love it.
Light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Thank you, honey.
Lisa, this has been a pleasure. It's been fun.
You are adorable. I can't wait to work with you more too and do stuff.
Lovely to connect with a proper fellow professional woman, badass ladies that we are. Let's keep it going.
One last question. When are you coming to Las Vegas? You need to get out of Germany. Come on.
Actually, one of the wonderful women in this We Meet networking group told me about my human design chart, and she said, you wait for the invitation.
Okay. Well, you're invited to come to Vegas anytime.
Well, Berlin welcomes everyone, just so you know.
I'm going to put that on my wish list. Okay.
Yeah, you'll love it. We'll love it. Let's make it happen.
Okay,
thanks
honey,
for joining,
thank you so
everyone.
much. Thank you for watching too. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.